Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 2nd, 2024 City Council meeting. And if you all would please join me. No, hold everything. Suzanne, roll call, please.
Thank you. Mayor Case,
I'm here, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Nakai,
Here.
Councilmember Baldwin,
Here.
Councilmember Gear,
Here.
Councilmember Jones,
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Thank you.
Would everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We're on to item 3, ceremonies, presentations, and appointments. Item A is reappointments to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Suzanne.
Thank you, Mayor Case. This evening, we are excited to have before council 2 reappointments to the Parks, Recreation, and Advisory Board known as PRAB. We have Jerry Smith and Chris Gonzalez, who are looking forward to serving another term. And they are here with you this evening in the audience, council, if you should have any questions for them.
Council, any questions? No? All right. Could I get a motion then?
I'll make a motion to appoint Jerry Smith and Chris Gonzalez to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Suzanne?
Thank you. The motion was Nakai, the second was Smith. Is that correct, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Case,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Baldwin,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Mayor, with your consent and council's consent, may I administer the oath of office to these 2 gentlemen?
Please, if you guys would like to come to the front of the room and stand before the screen, please.
If they can face the monitor, and I know Erin will bring over a microphone for them so I can hear them. Hi, guys. How are you this evening?
Doing great.
Okay, so please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Chris Gonzalez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Colorado,
and the state of Colorado,
the charter and ordinances
the charter and ordinances
of the city of Woodland Park,
of the city of Woodland Park,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
as member of the Parks Recreation Advisory Board,
as a member of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, gentlemen, and Cindy has your oaths of office for you to sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations and thanks for your service. All right, council, we're on to item 4, additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. Suzanne, do we have anything?
No, ma'am, not this evening.
Thank you. Item 5, the consent calendar. We have item A, approval of the April 18th, 2024 council minutes. And item B, approval of the Great Outdoor Colorado grant agreement for the Avenger Open Space. Would anyone like to address any of these separately? We can sure take it off. No? All right. Then I would look for a motion to approve the consent calendar, please.
Like to make a motion to approve both items on the consent calendar?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Council. Suzanne?
Thank you. Nakai,
Yes.
Baldwin,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Case.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
All right, we're on to item 6, public comment on items not on the agenda. Suze, do you have anything? I know we
I
have a
do.
sign up in the back.
I have, we'll start with online signups first, and I do have, I'm hoping I pronounce her name correctly. It's Nicole Brashley. So let's see, Eric can promote her to a panelist. Oh, she's in
She-
person.
Hey, Suzanne, she's actually here.
Excellent. Did I butcher your name?
A little bit, but it's okay. The alternative is broccoli, still not the vegetable though.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, good evening, dear mayor, dear council members. Thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. My name is Nicole Broccoli, and I'm a mother of 4 and a citizen of Woodland Park. I'd like to express my deep concern regarding the decision to initiate an application process to fill the vacant city council seat left by Mayor Kayla Case. Section 3.5 of the city charter gives the city council the authority to appoint anyone they want, provided there will not be a regular municipal election within 90 days of such vacancy. Why? I want to ask the council members to reflect on what the purpose behind this provision is. Our city council is elected by the people, for the people. The highest form of democratic expression is through a citywide election, where every voice is heard and every vote counts. It is a fundamental pillar of democracy, one that cannot be overshadowed or circumvented by any other means of appointment. During the recent city council meeting on April 4th, the city attorney provided an interpretation of this provision, suggesting that it only applies to future elections, not past ones. Yet, I challenge this interpretation. The very reason for the vacancy in this council seat stems from the election we just had, where 4 additional candidates received significant support from our community. The people of Woodland Park came out in a record number, and their vote should matter. Every one of these candidates received roughly 40% more votes than any applicant who deliberately chose not to run a campaign when they could have. Ask yourself, what will this crucial decision by our newly elected city council communicate to the people of Woodland Park? Are the council members going to stay true to their word that they are going to represent all the people of Woodland Park and are going to work towards unifying our town and making all voices heard? By appointing a candidate who did not run for election, the very election that's the reason why we're in this situation, the council would be disregarding the will of the people, undermining the integrity of our democratic process, and I'm afraid further dividing our town. I believe that it is crucial that one of the 4 candidates that were on the ballot on April 2nd be appointed to the vacant council seat in order to ensure that the diverse voices and perspectives of our community are properly represented. I thank you for your commitment to our town, our city, and for your careful consideration of this matter. And I trust that you will make the right decision for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Suzanne, do we have
Yes,
someone
ma'am.
else?
Next is Sue Patterson.
Welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council Board members. I gave you all a pamphlet. I just wanted to touch base with what's going on within the Woodland Park School District. I'll start with the Woodland Park High School. We send congratulations to the girls 4x400 team. They placed first in the Petrelli and Hunt Invitation after a tough and thrilling race. At the Woodland Park Middle School, The students in Mrs. Rucker's sewing class are using their talent to generously again by donating another beautiful quilt to the Quilt Children's Hospital. So I want to give a shout out to this teacher, Mrs. Rucker. At Columbine Elementary, recent highlights from learning at Columbine from E3 outdoor education to the circus unit in the gym. At Merit Academy recently, Dr. Monica Kinnaman, who is a British World War II veteran, stopped by to say hello to the children at Merit. I hear that the children at Merit line both sides of the hallways to honor this World War II veteran. And she left them with a few words of wisdom. First, she said that Britain could not have won World War II without America's help. And she also left some words of wisdom to the kids saying, the secret to getting to be 106 years old was exercise, plenty of it, and always stay active. So I want to touch base with the Gateway Elementary. The Gateway's adventurous second graders had an unforgettable science class at Aspen Valley Ranch. They had, through hands-on experiments in nature's explorations, they discovered how the world around them can transform and change states. It's not every day that you get to learn about solids, liquids, and gases, which in such a dynamic environment. At Summit Elementary, the Summit kids, they recognize the incredible paras who work diligently every day to help with their students' success. So my recognition goes out to all the paras. They're an important part of our school. And the last couple of minutes, I wanted to invite you all again to celebrate with us the graduation class of 2024. It's going to be on May 25th, I believe at 10 a.m. at the athletic field. And there's going to be a great parade afterwards. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and hope to see you at the graduation. Thank you.
Ms. Patterson, I heard Columbine had their yearly Makerspace art fair. Can you give us a little update on how that went?
I don't know. I didn't attend it. I'm sorry. I don't have the details on that, but I'm sure it's on Columbine's website.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mayor,
right,
the next speaker is Brian Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening, and yes, thank you all for your service for our community. In sight unseen, we do recognize your pledged, signed, and recorded oaths and bond. Yep. This is regarding the 5G towers. A number of us have seen no evidence contrary to the fact that microwave transmission is safe for any man, woman, child, safe for any biological life in general. As an example, our microwave ovens in our homes, they're designed in a metal box, sealed. It's a Faraday cage type of device for a reason, to contain those transmissions. The major issue that I'm coming here today about is the insurability, the uninsurable risk. We've seen no evidence contrary to the fact that insurers rank these wireless transmissions, electromagnetic radiation from the 5G towers, as being high risk. A number of them compare them to exposure issues similar to lead paint and asbestos exposure. Slow but deadly. A number of us have seen no evidence contrary to the fact that most insurance plans have electromagnetic field exclusions on them. and do not insure for long-term damage from such transmissions. We've seen no evidence contrary to the fact that wireless radio frequency radiation, yes, is defined as a type of pollution by many of the wireless manufacturers. They themselves call it a pollution. And last, we've seen no evidence contrary to the fact that wireless equipment manufacturers warn their shareholders about the liability risk, but they don't warn the users or the innocent bystanders that happen to be near it. So it would be different if you were putting a controversial statue next to the schools. Yeah, but this is putting equipment such as the microwave radiation. It invisibly trespasses onto and into our bodies and our plants and animals. So until then, we do not consent, a number of us do not consent to any of these 5G tower plans going further, especially next to our schools. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
consideration.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Mayor Case, the next speaker is Commissioner Dan Williams.
Thank you for being on.
Madam Mayor, with your forbearance, I'll ask my teammates to come up with me, the fellow commissioners and our county sheriff.
Please, thank you.
And we'll take a few minutes of your time. I just want to start by saying, Madam Mayor, honorable council persons, congratulations. For those of you who ran against him, there's a number of you here. Congratulations for a well-run race. You've been chosen, you've been selected. We're here tonight to stand firmly with the council. We try to make this a routine that we do every year. You're in your honeymoon period now. May not sound like it, but you are. We will definitely be standing with you in fires, floods, famines, snows, bills. We are working on bills today. There's 3 days left of the Colorado legislative session. And I know we've talked to a number of you on trying to protect our lifestyle, your city, et cetera. I've been a leader my whole life in a public service since I was 17. And so personally, and we all have a story for you, I just want to pass on a few things to you. You have been democratically elected by the majority of the people in Woodland Park who turned out to vote. It's very simple in our democracy, and that's how it works. It's also not an attribute of our society, and it's very often where someone wins an election and says, I've got a mandate. This is how it's going to be. I would ask you to open your aperture. A number of your speakers have already said it, and help us as county commissioners and the sheriff with the divisive problem that we have in our country. Now, there's a lot of divisiveness even in this county. And so look at the folks that didn't vote for you, that didn't maybe align with your personal values or some of the issues, and earn their respect now and their vote, because they're not minority opinions. They're residents and they're people that do love you, that pay taxes, that call Woodland Park home. And that's what we try to practice as well. It's no secret that we're in the minority at the state. This is a Democratic state right now. We're all Republicans, but we've had a lot of success at the legislature because we go up there and talk to them as human beings, as local leaders, or as rural leaders, and there's mutual respect. And I know you guys will do that. You know, Teller County's never liked a lot of government, and this is part of Teller County, as I'm sure Eric will tell you, but they do want functional government. And I just say that as, don't read into this, just we really want you guys to be successful. For every one of you, just like every one of us, there could be 10 other people as a county commissioner here. So we've been blessed. You've been blessed. When I look at Kelly, Madam Mayor, ma'am, you know, I see Neil Levy sitting there, who was a personal friend. I see Val Carr sitting there, and both those gentlemen did the best they could with the tools and the information they had at that time to make good decisions, just like each and every one of you will. Had they known their time on the planet was almost over, they might have made different decisions. And so live each day as this is your last day. Each decision is your last decision. Listen to the people, even the people that you don't agree with have opinions, and you know, take the time to make it. What we've learned as county commissioners is you can never go wrong if you keep it in the sunshine. It's the best antiseptic out there. So now you guys have. So again, I just want to say I love you guys. I'm proud of you who ran against them and fell just a little short. Don't give up. There's a lot of things and a lot of opportunities. And again, let's bring Teller County back together again, which we're trying really hard, bring Colorado back together again, bring the Front Range to the rural. And in Woodland Park, there's a little work to do. And I know you guys, you've got a great city manager. Aaron was instrumental. And thank you for what you guys did to help us during the storm. You know, there's 7 people that aren't here in Teller County that were here before the storm that aren't here afterwards. So it's a very serious thing. And it was good to be able to reach out to Aaron. Appreciate that, sir, and Kelly and Catherine and everybody. So thank you. And I appreciate you guys. And I'll be followed by Eric, I think.
Thank you, Dan, and Mayor Case and Mayor Pro Tem Nakai and honorable members of the council. Again, as Dan said, I want to offer you all congratulations and thanks for those who are continuing on. And I'm in a unique position to the other commissioners that are here today because I'm also your constituent. I live here in the city. I got to vote in the election. And I really appreciate what you guys are stepping up to. Before I became a commissioner 25 years ago, I served on a city council of a town of about 25,000 people. And the amount of business that comes before a city is so dramatically different than what comes before a county is tremendous. And you guys know this just from the many issues, just because the concentration of people that live in a city and the number of activities that are under your guys' supervision is really significant. So thank you for stepping up. I know a lot of times it's very thankless, and obviously the compensation is limited. But again, as Dan said, regardless of where there's a problem in the county, and I know when Dan and I were running for office 3.5 years ago, we were standing down, next to the Dinosaur Museum, waving signs and all of that. And I remember several times as we were there, telling Dan, remember, even though we're standing in Woodland Park, we are standing in Teller County. And if there's a problem in Woodland Park, then there's a problem in Teller County. If there's a problem in Cripple Creek, there's a problem in Teller County. And with that, my message is, especially for those new, because those who are friends and longtime associates, we've worked together, is that we really do want to work together. And we want to be fabulous partners. And one way that we're working on that, for example, is we're currently seeking a $1 million grant from the state of Colorado in order to do a major wildfire mitigation project that will protect the city of Woodland Park. Woodland Park has the potential to be the next Paradise, California, if we don't take care of the mitigation around the borders of the city. Last time we applied for this grant, the city played a huge role in getting that grant put through, because at the time we didn't have an OEM director, and actually at the time when it started, we didn't even have a county administrator. City stepped up and really helped us get these forms put together. And it was such a solid application, actually, that even though we didn't win the grant the first time, I got a phone call just last week from the director of COSWAP saying, hey, there was one project we wish we could have funded last time, but we didn't get a fund, but we'd like to take another look at it. Can you guys get that back together? Well, now we've got a great county administrator who's working well with your city administrator. And we feel very confident we're going to be able to get that grant. But that's just one example of how we want to work together and how we have worked together in the past. And I just really appreciate it. It hasn't always been that way. The county and the city haven't always worked together well. And the cities in general, it's always been a variety of relationships. But I just value that relationship. I value all of yours leadership, and look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council and their advisors. I appreciate you having us here tonight. I don't have any magic words of wisdom, but we're all elected officials in our community. Obviously, all your citizens are a part of Teller County, and they're our citizens. So between taxpayers and citizens, our job is to do the right thing for the people of their community, countywide, citywide, et cetera. Sometimes that's not easy, but we have to listen to everybody. People that didn't vote for us, it doesn't matter at this point. We're all elected in a political system, but once you're elected, we represent everybody. And it's our duty to listen and take all points of view in our decisions and do what we think is right for the citizens and the taxpayers of the community. So I welcome you all here. I know you've got a tough job. We've all got tough jobs, and sometimes we have different subjects, but I appreciate stepping up to do what you do. And to continue on the conversation, my fellow commissioner said, we work together on lots of subjects. Sometimes they're different subjects, sometimes they're joint subjects, sometimes they're events that happen in the community, and sometimes they're not events that we like, but we all work together and we all try to do the right things for our citizens. And that's our charge as a longtime elected official. That has been my stance forever, is do the right thing for the people. And I'd just like to say again, congratulations and welcome to the community of local government. And we appreciate what you're doing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Good evening. I don't know why, but I'm always last, so it's hard to follow up these guys. But here's the deal. So my family, this year I went to the Cowhand. I'm the fourth generation now. My sons were the fourth generation to buy a cowboy hat in that store. My granddaughter will be the fifth generation to have something bought for her out of that store. My family has been in the area for many, many years. I grew up in this area. I know most of you. If I see you on the street, I give you a hug. I buy my shoes at Zeb's. Coach Smitty taught my kids how to wrestle. My one son is now a law enforcement officer for Teller County. I have another son in Italy who's jumping out of airplanes to defend our country. And I have another son that's an engineer in California right now because of the education provided in this community. I have been in more fires and more natural emergencies as a sheriff than most sheriffs in the state of Colorado. I have done more evacuations in most places than most sheriffs would ever dream to have to do. And I tell you what, we've always been resilient and we've come out of it together as a team. So I look at all of you and understand that we are a team. We're going to continue to be a team. You have a great police chief. He and I talk weekly. Some of it's about, things that pop up. Other things are about how irritated we are at the legislators in the last few months. But I tell you what, we do it together. And I've talked to all the councilmen. We will always do things together because we respect one another and we know that all the issues that pop up, we're going to face as a team. We've done the biker rally. We've done multiple different events. We dealt with the marijuana issues when they came to our area with the different cartels. And we stood firm in our resolve to make sure that those things didn't happen in our communities. So I expect no less from you. We're leaders. And to be a leader, sometimes you can't make everybody happy, but you do what you think is right and you move forward and you always try to do the right thing. And I think that's the hardest part of anything we do nowadays, right? From all the different woke ideals to the different issues at hand, it doesn't matter because the people who we represent are going to need us to lead them into the future. And that's what you're doing. So thank you for all of you stepping forward. I don't know who would want to volunteer for this, but I will tell you, there's enough of us that are crazy enough to do it. And I'm so happy to be a part of what you are doing. And Aaron, thank you so much for all that you're doing. You're making a difference. So thank you all. I hope the success for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Dan.
And then Mayor, excuse me, we have one more sign up online and all I have is a first name of Linda. So if Linda, you want to speak, you can speak. There she goes.
Hello, Linda. Welcome.
I think you're muted.
Is that better?
There you are. Yes.
There I am. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I have a small section of an article to read. It's from the September 20th, 2019 Gazette-Telegraph. It reads, in a surprise development Thursday, Councilwoman Carol Harvey, a member of a task force that worked on the deer plan, announced her resignation out of frustration over the process. Quote, I resigned from the council Wednesday night, primarily because I felt that the management plan had been commandeered by a group whom I would call domestic terrorists, she said. She continued, quote, they're going to get their way and talk about how horrible hunting is and not give an opportunity to a group that put a lot of effort into a well thought out plan. End quote. I and many on our Deer Task Force committee spend hours contacting the FBI, CBI, and Homeland Security to discuss and guarantee that our character, our reputation, our years of hard work, honesty, and integrity had not been tarnished by the label domestic terrorist that Ms. Harvey threw upon us because the plan to kill deer in our community didn't go her way. I know that the citizens of Woodland Park will not be given the opportunity to vote on or speak on who will fill the vacant position on this city council. So I want it on record, because of her lack of character and integrity, Carol Harvey should not be given the opportunity, the privilege of serving on council or any board in the city of Woodland Park again. Thank you.
Linda,
Thank you.
this is Suzanne. For the record, I know who you are, but for the record, can you please state your name?
Martin, Martin.
Thank you.
Linda. You're welcome. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
That
And that's all.
that concludes public comment for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you, Suzanne. All right, we're on to item 7, unfinished business. We have none. Item 8, ordinances on initial posting. There are none. Item 9, public hearings. There are none. And item 10, new business. There are none. That's number 11 now, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor's report. Community events, May 2nd through May 16th, 2024. Registration is open for youth flag football and youth soccer with Parks and Recreation. Summer camp registration is open as well, with camps for all interests and all ages. Check out the Parks and Rec website for more details. Next, there is still time for you, the citizens of Woodland Park, to leave comments on the concept plan for the Meadowood Sports Complex master plan. Check out What's Up Woodland Park for the survey link. Any questions, please reach out to the Parks and Recreation Department. And finally, on May 8th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Ute Pass Cultural Center will be hosting a free community concert with a songwriter showcase brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Music Society. This showcase features local singer-songwriters. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and the Ute Pass Cultural Center bar will be open and outside food is welcome. All right. Mayor Pro Tem Nakai.
I have nothing. The UAC is not meeting this month, so.
Thank you. Terry?
Well, you'll all be happy to know that I've been exploring the Colorado Municipal League website and legislative session links. So I'll be beginning to report on what they're doing in the, legislative session is almost over, so I won't have a whole lot to report. I did want to recommend, there's a Colorado Municipal League webinar called Effective Governance, and it's in 2 parts, and it's excellent. It would be excellent, even for those of you who are veterans, just great reminders about what we're supposed to be doing. I also wanted to, piggybacking on what you said, Mayor Case, your feedback on the master plan for Meadowood needs to be put in by the 5th, I believe, May the 5th. Shout out to Community Partnership Family Resource Center. They had an open house a couple of weeks ago. Since the beginning that I have been paying attention, that the programming over there is amazing. Jody Mijares does an awesome job. There's so many resources there for our community. I also wanted to shout out to the new teen center called The Edge. Again, they have so many resources for teenagers and families there. It's not just a drop-in hangout center. There are therapists there. And in fact, I made a referral there today from someone that got turned away from the hospital here. So also Ben Schmidt wanted to congratulate or thank him very much for the street crews starting to fill in the holes. Now if we can just get some of the landlords in town to take care of their parking lots without having to be forced, it would be nice. And that's all I've got. Thanks.
Jeff?
All right, so first thing I have is May is Wildfire Awareness Month. So, you know, one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about, one of the county commissioners mentioned Paradise, California. We're very much like them and very much in the same risk factor. So just want to call out again that May is Wildfire Awareness Month. Parks and Rec, we're still looking for scorekeepers and umpires. So if there's for baseball and softball as well. So if that's something anyone in the community is interested in, please reach out to Parks and Rec. We'd love to have you. And that is all I have.
Thank you. George?
Yeah, DDA meets this coming Tuesday, 7:30 in the morning, and I don't know where yet because I haven't been, but here, it's gonna be here. Okay, good. So the DDA will convene next Tuesday, and then after that, I'll have more to report, I'm certain.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Smitty?
Sure. May 8th at the Woodland Park School District Board meeting, the 4 students that were awarded the Teller County Freemasonry Marching Band scholarships, those 4 will be presented to the board and to the community at that time. I won't tell you the names because it takes away the fun.
Nice. Thank you. All right, city attorney?
My only report, I told many of you this, my daughter passed the bar exam last week.
Oh, wow. Awesome. All right, city manager.
All right, thank you. Kip, would you like to go ahead? He has an update on utility billing.
Sure, I could get up to the podium if you want or stay here. Your call.
I think you can sit tonight.
Okay, thanks. Excited to inform council, utility billing will be changing in regards to the billing cycles being for years. We have sent out bills every week for a total of 4 routes, and our citizens over the years have expressed a more, I'll say, routine billing, because when you do that, you have 4 to 5 week billing cycles. We are switching that billing cycle to once a month. And we are starting ASAP. So we will be doing a social media blast. Our customers will be getting notices through our normal billing procedures on kind of what to expect. So we're going to kick that off and just wanted to inform you that that's coming. And there will be some growing pains just in that transition, a 1 to 2 month window of making those adjustments, but we'll get through those. And we're excited to offer, I'll say, more consistent 30-day cycles.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Kip. And Suzanne.
Thank you, Aaron. Council, this evening, I just wanted to go over some scheduling with you for upcoming council meetings, and this way the public can hear as well. As we talked about earlier this evening in the work session that we had with Mr. Wilson on May 16th, prior to the council meeting, as council decided when they were elected and took a seat on the dais, we will be doing council interviews for the new appointment to a new council member. So the council application process is still open. Those applications are due into the clerk's office as of May 8th. And then I will provide council and the public with a list of all the applicants. Council can do their interviews that evening, and whatever happens from there is up to you guys. Following that meeting on May 16th, after the May 16th council meeting, we will be having a work session. And the work session will be a continuation of Mr. Wilson's lessons that he was teaching council this evening. And he'll continue on council rules and procedures and gave you some due dates of when he needs information from you. So that will be the May 16th council meeting. Now I'd like to just review June with you a little bit. As most of you know, on June, we have a council meeting, of course. We have the first council meeting June 6th. On June 20th, most of the council will be at Colorado Municipal League Conference. This happens every year, and every year we have to cancel the council meeting. That's the 3rd Thursday of the month because CML always makes their conference that same time. So what we are looking at doing with council's permission is we would like to have council on June 27th. The reason for not canceling like we typically would do is because our next council meeting then would be July 4th, and we're not going to be here on July 4th. So we'll be canceling that council meeting. So we didn't want to cancel so many of them. So with council's permission, we would like to have council on June 6th, June 27th, cancel July 4th, and then continue with July 18th. If we need a second council meeting in July, we can always arrange that. So I just need a consensus from council so we can let the public know that this is our upcoming schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Council?
No issues
Okay.
from my end.
Sounds good, Suzanne. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Well, with that, if no one has anything else, we're adjourned.